Hello everyone, welcome to chapter 115 on my RLDR Custom Creation YouTube channel. It is a bright sunny day in the shop again today, and at times that causes some problems. So if you want to see how I'm going to deal with that, all you have to do is stay tuned. Well, as I stated in the introduction, there's a lot of beautiful sunlight that comes into this shop, but it tends to be a problem in two areas. Number one, when I'm shooting video. Often in the videos in the past, 114 of them, if I've shot something in the shop, I've had to pick my second or third preference for camera shot because of all the glare in the shop. Now, when I'm just working in here, I love it. But for shooting video, it's a problem. The other issue, and I would have never guessed this, is there is a safety side to this as well. And I'm standing by my edge sander here. It's really a wonderful tool, and we love using it. And remember, this shop is maybe not that small a shop, but it's got a lot in it. And I wanted to put this machine on this side of the building, and there's the overhead door, so it doesn't really work there. But anyway, it ended up in front of this window. And I'm shooting this in the morning, so you're not going to see it. But in the afternoon, when I'm working here, or worse yet, when I have students working here, it really gets to the point you're looking directly into the sun, and it does not work well. Now, this shop is a little bit strange as far as directions go because it's at a 45-degree angle on my lot. So that direction there is southwest. So in the afternoon, especially this time of year, the sun's a little lower, and it just really shines in here on a clear day. It's actually hard to use this sander and see what you're doing. So obviously that's not something that I want my students to be dealing with. So my solution to this problem is to install some type of curtain or blind in this place. Now, putting blinds in your shop, I don't know if I know of anybody else that just has a regular shop that does this. Yeah, if they're shooting YouTube video, chances are they do. But a lot of the channels get way more sophisticated when dealing with light and stuff than I do yet. Maybe we're getting there, but who knows. So anyway, at first I wanted to put some type of a vertical blind that it could sit open, I could go up to it and turn the thing, and it would close. But first of all, I found they're really expensive, and I couldn't find the ones I was looking for. And then I even considered maybe making my own out of pine and the mechanisms that were there, but that's too much time and too much work. So what I compromised and basically went with the cheapest solution I could find, and that is a vinyl roller blind, which, yeah, they're not the best, but they're going to work in this situation. I bought them at Walmart, and I was actually, I bought them in summer with good intentions of wanting to do this right away, but it never happened. So now it's February, and I'm wanting to install them, and I open them up, and I'm getting everything out. I'm even reading the instructions. And lo and behold, there are none of the mounting brackets included with the blind. I'm sorry, but what is that? So now I had to run around, and because this YouTube channel is important to me, we went to Saskatoon yesterday evening after my wife had already been in Saskatoon all day, and we went to Home Depot and bought clips so I could install this blind today. But if you're going to buy blinds, check that you have the hardware with them. I never even thought to check. I just assumed that you're selling a blind, you're going to sell some way to mount it. Every curtain we have in the house came with all the hardware to mount it 3 different ways, but this came with nothing. So anyway, that's not a shout out to Walmart, kind of disappointing. But anyway, so aside from that, we're going to install one of these today. Now, the other thing that I have going on here is I have a fairly deep window well, because remember, this is an R42 wall, so this shop is always nice and warm and cheap to heat in winter. But I also have another little dilemma here. I've got these little security cameras here that I like to be able to watch my yard and stuff. If we go away, I can just go to my camera and see what's going on and stuff like that. I like it. And it's not really aimed at, it's aimed kind of at the road, but whatever. I'm not creeping on my neighbors. I just want to see my yard. But I don't want to have the blind right against the window. So that means I have to kind of put the blind in the center of this area. And the other thing I don't want to do is I don't want to screw through the plastic laminate and MDF furring out that I did of the window. I don't want to screw into that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make little tabs of wood, of pine, and then I'm going to put them on with that foam tape. My wife ordered some foam tape that we used for some other projects, and that stuff is, oh, for the bathroom mirror. That stuff is aggressive, is putting it bluntly. So, but I think in the end, if I want to take it apart, I'll just cut the foam, scrape the residue off, and I should be fine. I just don't want to have holes in here. So that's what I'm going to do. And what I'll do is I'll get everything going, and then I'll bring you in closer and let you see what exactly I'm working with. Okay, we'll be back in a bit. Well, okay, I'm going to start showing you how I am going to mount this onto the window frame. And yeah, it's kind of an odd camera angle again. I want to try to show you what I'm doing and maybe not so much me. So I've put one on already, just to kind of get started here. And I'm going to put the other long one on. I'm going to run it past a little bit so I can trim it. I like this scissor. It's kind of a heavy duty scissor, but not here. And it's Princess Auto Buy, so yeah, my favorite shopping place. Okay, well that's not, I'm going to try with the knife here to cut that a little tighter. It doesn't like to do it. Okay, we're going to try this again. We're going to lift it up just a wee bit. And I'm being probably far fussier than I need to be. That's pretty good, because I don't think anybody's going to ever see this. So, but I think that's important when you're doing things that just because people can see it, that's the only time you do a good job. It's the unseen things that often make the difference, and I'm just trying to do the best I can, which is always important. Okay. Okay, so that's on. I'm going to show you the clips here that I bought at Home Depot. And they're really, really, I remember them being bigger. But anyway, they're little, and hopefully they'll do the job. I didn't use the screws that came with it, and I didn't really have the right screws for this. So these are countersink head 6x1/2 inch screws. And a round head or a pan head would be better here, look nicer. Again, maybe not a big deal. And the other screws, and it by the way, this comes with screws, but they're too long. They're nice screws, but they're too long. So I put the hole a 1 inch from here and 1 inch from here, and then drilled holes, pre-drilled small holes, and put the screws in. So okay, so that's one of these done. The reason they're so thin is because this blind does not have to be cut to fit in this window. Yeah, it just worked out that the blind is 1 inch smaller than the opening. So I think 1/2 inch on each side would be perfect. Maybe I'd cut it a little tighter if I had to cut it, but I don't. So I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to put these up, and we're going to have a blind. So I don't know if I don't think I need to show you doing the other side of this. I'll reset the camera and I'll show you how I'm going to put those up. We'll be right back. And I've got the foam tape on the brackets to hold it. Now, one of the things that's important, and it just says on the instructions, you can mount the blind in what they call the traditional way or the normal way, where the blind kind of rolls off the back side of the roll, or you can reverse it and have it pull on the front side. I chose to go standard because I know nothing about blinds and I'm not doing anything different. So anyway, we're going to keep that here. Be gentle with vinyl blinds, they're not terribly tough. Okay, so this is the right side clip. This is the one with the hole in it. And okay, let's just make sure I've got this right. So the blind's going in like this. This is the right side, there's the pin. Okay. Now, what I decided to do, and I did this off camera, is I want the blind, this bracket, to be about, I was going to go 4.5 inches, but now that I put the blind up, that's not enough. So I am going to sneak my tape measure here, and I'm going to move it out 1 inch. Okay, I had a pencil here. What did I do with it? Oh, there it is. I'll be back. Okay, yeah. I didn't have the bracket in my hand when I did this. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go... Okay, I changed my mind again. We're going to go 5 1/4, sorry, so that when I put the 3/4 inch valance on, I hadn't told you about that yet. Yes, I'm going to hide the blind with a nice pine valance that goes across the window. So I think that's going to work just fine. So, okay, we got this kind of cleaned off here. That's good. And then we're going to line it up and we're going to press it on. Oh yeah, that's nice and solid. Okay, I'm just going to quickly do the other side, and then we're going to hope that the blind fits. I have to remark this. Oops, we want it there. 5 1/4. Okay. Probably can't see as much on this side, but it's the same as the other side, so there we go. Okay, the moment of truth. Did all my fancy ciphering get this done? Okay, so this goes in here. That. Oh, that's good and tight. Oh, I like that. Yes, sirree, Bob. And look at that. It clears my camera. Sorry, I'm talking to the window. Clears my camera nicely. Ooh, yeah, and it's maybe a little big on each side. I thought it was 1 inch. It looks like it's about 1.5 inches. So, anyway, I think that's going to be good. Okay, now up we go. And that thing doesn't want to hang up there properly. Oh, that could be a bit of an issue. I think there's a way to tighten it, and I will look into that. But all that remains to go on yet is the valves. And I think what's going to happen is I'm going to take that off, take this out, and I think I'm just going to put some glue on here, and with yellow glue it on and clamp it. Oh, somebody's getting the mattress. Anyway, yeah, it's nice. I can keep kind of watch the neighborhood, so to speak, in a nice way. But anyway, so this is going to get glued on, and I'll come back when I have that ready to go. Well, I changed my mind again. I was going to put this beautiful pine valance up, put some glue on the back, glue it on, clamp it, and life would be wonderful. As you can see already, I changed my mind. This foam tape is so good. I'm going to give this a try. Now the valance isn't very heavy, but this stuff is powerful. So I took the liberty of putting this on the wood off camera. And yeah, I have my glue here, my clamps, everything ready to go. Okay, the other thing is, this is also kind of my kryptonite. I cannot pick things with my hands. I never have been able to, but I don't think age is helping. Let's put it that way. So I am going to attach this one with this foam tape. The thing I like about doing it that way, even though this tape is really aggressive, all of this is completely reversible. So I think that's going to be great. Okay, there's a right way and a wrong way to put this up, and I think we're going to just not get that on top. And then, yeah, this is 3.5 inches. Just double check to make sure. Yeah, 3.5 inches. Beautiful pine that I buy from Riley and McDowell. Really nice stuff. And I'm just going to turn around and plop this in, and this install will be done. Okay, that isn't up as high as it should be, but I think that's going to work. Let's see, let's take a look. Yeah, I kind of like it. So let's see if the blind goes back up. Now I was having trouble getting it all the way up before, but yeah, there's ample room. And with the foam tape, I've got an extra 1/8 there, but I think off camera, I'm going to take this blind down. I think it needs to be maybe wound somehow, I'm not sure. I will look at the instructions and go from there. But for next week when my students are back, we'll pull that down and they'll be able to run the sander without looking into the sunlight. So that should be wonderful. You know what, maybe if I just let it kind of go. Nope, that didn't work. Okay, we'll fix that later. So I think that kind of, maybe before I close, I finished this. Now it looks quite different than this, but the reason this is the way it is this is wipe-on poly. I'm pretty sure that I did all the trim in the shop with satin finished wipe-on. And when I started doing this, I couldn't find that one can I had left, so I put just regular gloss on it. And then I had, I think, 1 coat of gloss on it, and then I found it. I found my can of satin, and then I put 2 or 3 coats of that on. Now, the difference here is age. So maybe in a number of years, this will look like this too. But right now, it almost looks like a different wood. So anyway, I think that's the way this is going to be. So we're going to wrap this video up, but I'm going to make this a little nicer. So I'll be right back. Well, there you have it. The foam tape flexes a little bit, and I should have pushed it all the way up and then stuck it on. There's a little more of a gap on top than I'd like, but you know what? I think I'm going to see how this foam tape works over the long period of time here. That's certainly a gap I can live with. I mean, if I was building a cabinet or something, certainly not, but for in here, it'll work. And now that I've done one, I'm pretty sure I've already thought of a couple little ways I can clean this up a bit. So maybe what I'll do is I'll shoot another little video when I do one of the bigger windows, when I actually have to cut a blind to length. But yeah, even if you don't shoot YouTube video in your shop, there are times when having a lot of sunlight in your shop might be a wee bit of a problem. And I mentioned the safety aspect of this, like now my students can sand here. There's nothing, like no glare, nothing. It's really nice. It's made this little tool station a little safer and a little nicer. Now, I have more things to do yet. You'll notice a lot of dust here. Well, when you run this sander without dust collection, oh my goodness, you are asking for it. But that's going to be coming yet. I started dust collection last winter in here, and I have plans to continue. Unfortunately, this might be one of the last tools I get to because it is the furthest, almost the furthest away. And if you guys in YouTube land have any really good ideas for running dust collection to a lathe, please let me know. What I'm thinking of doing is using, you know, on scroll saws they have that blower line that you can flex and bend and put in place. Well, I've looked on the internet extensively and I've seen 4-inch size line like that. And I'm wondering if maybe with a small box on the end, if that wouldn't be the best way to dust collect from the lathe. Because really all you need is the small particles. The larger stuff is not going to affect your lungs. At least that's my understanding. So, you know, to catch the fine dust that could eventually end up in your lungs, I think is the way to go. So out there, if you have a good way, and even if, boy, if you could like send me a picture or something, that'd be wonderful. Because I haven't finalized that yet, but I'm working on thinking about it, and it might be a year down the road. But I'm hoping to finish the rest of this off this winter yet. That and about 15 other projects. So anyway, just to let you know, my son-in-law's out painting, and he's coming out again today, and he is an awesome painter. I'm so thankful for his willingness to come and do a job that I hate doing. Now, the trade-off with that is my son-in-law's neighbor, Matt, he's a wonderful guitar player, but he'd really like to build his own guitar. So we've been doing that while my son-in-law's been painting. So man, oh man, did I ever win in this one. Instead of painting, I get to build a guitar with a really neat person. So it's been a lot of fun. So we're going to work on that again this afternoon. But anyway, I'm rambling on here and a little off topic. So remember to like, share, and subscribe. Remember, Frosty goes at 500. And man, oh man, I'm starting to brew up a really, really cool idea for the 1,000 sub giveaway. Not sure if I'm going to do this yet, but it would be amazing. So like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends. And hopefully, yeah, I'll see you on the weekend edition. Take care.